Yesterday, it's mostly sunny and breezy with highs in the upper 70s to low 80s. Now, this warming's not going to last long. A weak cool front comes in tonight, partly cloudy and cooler with lows in the low to mid 40s. Tomorrow, it's mostly sunny. You'll notice the change. You'll need the jackets again. Mid 50s to around 60 for the highs. We do expect mostly cloudy skies for the weekend. I'm Mike Mays in the North Carolina News Network Weather Center.
And we're already up to 50 this morning on our thermometer. According to Peter, the meter reader started out at 45, now up to 50, climbing to almost 80, maybe 77, 78, possibly even bumping into 80 today with a northwest wind to 6 miles per hour, gusting to 13 miles per hour. Then tonight dropping back lower than we are right now, 42. I expect you to low to 90, then tomorrow back up to 64. Beautiful spring-like weather here in this early part of March. What's it going to be like when it gets to be spring, huh? But we are looking at that weather pattern for you. We'll stay tuned with it. You stay tuned with us. It's 6 minutes after 7 here on WCAB. I have these death announcements this morning. Patricia Pat Cleves Harris, age 89 of Forest City, died Monday, February the 28th at Hospice of the Carolina Foothills. The funeral service will be held at 2 o'clock today in the Paget and King Chapel, with Reverend David Henderson officiating. Burial will follow in Eternal Hills Memorial Park. The Paget and King Mortuary is in charge of the arrangements, and online guest registry available at pagetking.com for Patricia Pat Cleves Harris. Summer Lee Showers Pierce, age 44, passed away on Friday, February the 25th. A private service will be officiated by Reverend Andy Evans and Reverend Ernie Holland and a friend to Summer. A private burial will also follow at Spindale City Cemetery. No time and date is given on that, but you can contact Crow's Mortuary for more information for Summer Lee Showers Pierce. Evelyn Butler Showles, age 92 of Bostic, died February 18th at Fairhaven Home of Bostic. A memorial service will be held 11 o'clock on Saturday, March 5th at Florence Baptist Church with the Reverend Dr. Bobby Gant officiating. The family will receive friends from 10 until 10:45 prior to the service in the sanctuary of the church, and burial will follow in the Cool Springs Cemetery. The Paget and King Mortuary and Crematory is in charge of the arrangements, and online guest registry available at pagetking.com for Evelyn Butler Showles of Bostic. Wayne Vess, age 75 of Forest City, died Tuesday at Hospice House of the Carolina Foothills. The family will receive friends from 1 until 2 Saturday, March 5th at McMahon's Funeral Home. The funeral service will be at McMahon's Funeral Home Chapel at 2 o'clock Saturday with Reverend Andy Evans officiating. McMahon's Funeral Home and Cremation Service in charge of the arrangements for Wayne Vess of Forest City. Those are the death announcements we have in-house this morning. For the complete information on these and others as they become available to us, be sure to tune in at 11:35 today and then again at 5:10 as part of the afternoon report for the complete information on these and others as they become available to us. 9 minutes after 7 o'clock, the Bill O'Reilly Morning Update coming up here in just a few moments. Then we'll get to the phones and make our calls around the county. The program note this morning at 10 minutes after 8, we will be interviewing again Congresswoman Virginia Fox, and she'll talk about what's happening in Washington, the keynote address the other night, and also the situation with Russia and Ukraine. And then at 8:30, my direct live interview from Ukraine with Joel Colin. That'll take place at 8:30 this morning, so be sure to hang around with us. Got a lot to pack in. Hope you'll be sure to pass that on. And also, if you have to be away from the radio but near your computer, you can tune in on www.wcab59.com and listen to it live here on the streamer. And we hope you'll do that. All right, let's take a little wait here for Bill O'Reilly to come in with his morning update. It's always interesting to hear what he has to say. Coming up right now.
Bill O'Reilly here, and I'm warming up from the NRIA.net studios in New York. Stand by for the O'Reilly Update Morning Edition. If you are stuck in a timeshare, please call my friends at Lone Star Transfer. They guarantee to get you out with a specified time frame given to you in writing. They have helped thousands of unhappy timeshare owners over the past decade. Family owned, their process is done legally, ethically, and quickly. So please call for a no obligation consultation. 855-551-7066 or visit LoneStarTransfer.com. On this Thursday, I am considering going to TV rehab, trying to get away from television news, an industry I have worked in for 46 years. Why? Why do I need rehab? Simple. Too much propaganda, which is bad for me and you. Propaganda that is untruth is now a money maker. It is cheap, easy to produce, singling out guests who can say whenever they want. And the host or anchor just sits there and lets it go because the host or anchor are too lazy or stupid to acquire the knowledge to challenge the guest. Then the host or anchor cashes his or her check. So where have you gone, Mike Wallace, Ted Koppel, Barbara Walters, Howard Cosell, Tom Snyder? People who would challenge on the air people who spread propaganda. Now, very few on TV do that. Have you watched the morning shows lately? How about the late night comedians? They just let people say whatever they want to say. It's just infuriating. So I need rehab, and I'm going to get it. Now this. Investors, are you sitting on capital or wanting to diversify? The NRIA Real Estate Development Fund provides returns right now. They capitalize on strategic markets. They offer steady monthly payouts plus double-digit annualized returns. Start your due diligence at nria.net or call 800-800-1414. That's easy, 800-800-1414.
An offer of securities is only made by the NRIA Private Placement Memorandum. Read it first. Past performance does not guarantee future results. NRIA is a real estate development firm. Learn more at nria.net.
That is the Morning O'Reilly Update. More analysis later on.
Good morning, everybody. Time to get up and greet the world with a smile. And remember, whenever you're feeling down and need a word of encouragement, there will always be someone there to make you feel even worse. Have a nice day.
Thank you for making WCAB your radio station of choice in the foothills. Now get the best of both worlds, 100.9 FM and 590 AM Rutherfordton.
This is Gilbert. I'm back on the air every Saturday from 8 to 9. So put on a pot of coffee, sit down, and listen to Gilbert Talks Taxes. You just might learn something.
The area that was to become Yellowstone remained a secret because the Indians thought the belching terrain was the home of evil spirits, and the Indians didn't tell the whites about it because they were afraid the area had the ability to give them superior power. Back in 1827, the Philadelphia Gazette published a letter from mountain man John Coulter about the area. People started calling it Coulter's Hell. And in a way, it did become his hell because no one believed him. In 1830, mountain man Jim Bridger brought back stories about Yellowstone. But because Bridger was considered a yarner, one who tells tales, when he told people about hooking a fish in cold water and then cooking it by pulling it upstream, no one believed him. In 1869, 3 mountain men set out to lay to rest the rumors about the area. During their 6-week trip, they saw Yellowstone Lake, Fountain Geyser, and thermal features. But when they returned to civilization, fearing people would call them crazy, they said nothing about it. Finally, in 1870, almost 45 years after the first stories about the wonders of Yellowstone started filtering east, Congress granted $25,000 to Ferdinand Hayden to survey the Western Territories. Hayden was an experienced explorer who was sometimes called Grasshopper Mind. But once and for all, Hayden was able to document the wonders of Yellowstone. The next time we're together, I'll have the story of Hayden's expedition and the photographer who brought back the first evidence of Yellowstone's wonders. You've just heard another story from Old West Radio. I'm Dakota Livesay.
Jesse James Railroad Express has added 2 new sandwiches to their menu. Try the all-new crispy chicken sandwich with lettuce, tomato, and mayonnaise, or the crispy deluxe with lettuce, tomato, mayonnaise, bacon, and cheese. And now, the new beer-battered fish sandwich. All come with sides. Enjoy a refreshing milkshake or a hand-dipped ice cream cone. Open Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. until 4 p.m. Closed Wednesday and Sunday. Jesse James Railroad Express, 531 Railroad Avenue in Rutherford. Call 828-447-4644. Mondays only, hot dog with mustard, chili, and onions for only $1.24 each. All aboard the Jesse James Railroad Express.
Congratulations to Jesse James Railroad Express, voted 2021 Best of Rutherford County hot dogs and hamburgers 5 years in a row.
Now it's 7:16. Let's head to the phones and get started. Find out what's been happening in the past few hours. On the phone with me right now is Sheriff Chris Francis to give us an update. Good morning. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, Jim. I hope you are.
I am doing well for this beautiful spring-like day.
It's about here. I can feel it for sure.
Yeah. Tell us what's been going on. It sounds like you've been busy over there.
We have been. Jim, the last 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office has responded to 110 calls for service. There have been 22 arrests processed to county jail. Currently incarcerated, we have 161. Among those arrested, Megan Crane Shull, 45-year-old female of Statesville, was charged with attempting to break in and entering and injury to property, received a $500 secured bond. Summer Star Richards, 35-year-old female of Ellenboro, was charged with motor vehicle theft and received a $500 secured bond. Adrian Jarrell Logan, 35-year-old male of Far City, was charged with failure to comply with child support and received a $500 cash bond. Kaylee Cheyenne Connor, 23-year-old female, charged with failure to comply, received $900 cash bond. George Samuel Damiani, 37-year-old male, was charged with domestic violence protective order violation, received a district court judge for bond. Isaac Jeremiah Odell, 22-year-old male of Far City, was charged with 2 counts of failure to appear and received a $15,000 secure bond. Scott Thomas Tubner, 47-year-old male of Hickory, was charged with 6 counts of failure to appear and received a $500 secure bond. Waylon Christopher Flynn, 43-year-old male of Ruston, was charged with domestic violence protective order and received district court judge for bond. Scotty Lee Jimerson, 54-year-old male of Ruston, was charged with 2 counts of failure to appear and received a $2,000 secure bond. Haley Lynn Anderson, 24-year-old female of Shelby, was picked up on the second-degree arson charge, and also had failure to appear and received a $65,000 secure bond. Bobby David Gilbert, 44-year-old male of Ruston, was charged with trespassing and received a written promise to appear. Catherine Ann Spencer, 47-year-old female of Morrisboro, was charged with failure to appear and received a $500 unsecured bond. Lydia Fowler Self, 35-year-old female, was charged with 2 counts of failure to appear and received a $3,000 secure bond. Among incidents, we had an ID theft on Aqua Drive in Far City. Someone opened up a Wells Fargo account using the victim's information without authorization. We had a B&E in larceny on Doc Wiseman Road in Morrisboro. The house was being worked on. There was some Edward Oak flooring valued at $47, a toilet valued at $100, a white IKEA vanity valued at $250, and a white interior door valued at $100, as well as a propane heater taken in that incident. We also had a larceny on Highway 226 in Boston. Someone took the tag off of a vehicle that was left at a church. It's North Carolina tag ABL 4819, valued at $50. And we also had a larceny on Whitesides Road. Gentleman left a Smith & Wesson Shield 9mm valued at $450 on his dresser. And then when he came back home later in the day, it was gone. It mentioned there were several people in the residence at the time that he left. Jim, that's what we had to report at this time.
Well, sure. Thank you very much for that report. And I hope you'll be safe out there today and keep up the good work.
Thank you, sir. Take care.
See you now. And we'll check with 911, see what kind of calls they've had in the past 24 hours. To win in sports, you must adjust your strategy as the game changes. The same is true of investments. Why not let Andrew Tisdale, your Edward Jones financial advisor, help you create a game plan for financial success? Call 828-287-9197 and get started today. That's Andrew Tisdale at Edward Jones Financial Advisor, 828-287-9197. And Amanda is up next with the Communication Center report. Amanda, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Tell us what's on the list of phone calls you've gotten over there.
In the past 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office 911 Communications Center has processed 302 911 calls and administrative calls, which consisted of 49 for the emergency medical services, 110 for the Sheriff's Office, 41 for Forest City, 3 for Lake Lure, 33 for Rutherford, and 40 for Spindale. And Spindale Fire Department had a structure fire assisted by Rutherford and Hudlow, and that is all.
Thanks very much. Have a good day.
You too.
Farm Bureau Insurance doesn't hire celebrities to push auto coverage. We think people might like to make decisions based on service and savings, not just because that guy from that show says it's a good idea. Instead of faces you know from your TV, we offer faces you know from your neighborhood, because we're headquartered in North Carolina with local agents right in your town. That's really the only thing we want to be famous for. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
In Rutherford County, please call 287-2428.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc., Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
Now here's Ruby Taylor reporting out of the Shiloh Danieltown Oakland community, SDO, and she has a report for us. Ruby, how's it going?
It's going quiet.
Good, good.
And I just have one anniversary on my calendar, and that's Mr. and Ms. Ronnie Huntley having a anniversary. And I hope they have a nice day, and the signs are in the head today and tomorrow. And that's all I got.
All right, Ruby, thank you, and enjoy the rest of the day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Jim, have you seen Henson Building Materials' newly remodeled showroom? It's gorgeous.
You mean where they have a full line of hardware and building materials for homeowners and home builders?
I mean where Jamie, Terry, and Tony, their friendly staff, treat me like family. Oh, they're so nice.
Hey, are they taking COVID precautions and have curbside service?
Of course. They're so thoughtful.
I do need some materials, but I don't think they'll fit in our car.
Oh, silly. They have professional delivery so we can get whatever I want.
And some building materials, 177 Duke Street in Forest City.
Building starts here.
Tax refunds are on the way, and if you're in the market for a new vehicle, stop by A1 Auto Sales and Service on South Main in Rutherford. All vehicles have clean titles. They search history reports, do title brand searches. They offer a 120-point inspection check. Plus, all vehicles are researched before they're even put on the sales lot. A1 offers outside financing and buy here, pay here. They offer discounts to seniors, military, education, and healthcare workers, and all city, county, and federal employees. Mondays only, bring your church bulletin for a special discount from Ryan. A1 Auto Sales and Service Center on South Main Street in Rutherford. Stop in or give them a call, 828-829-5877.
Now, Fairfield Mountains will be our next stop. That's where the fire district is up there. Gary Wilson overlooks for us. Good morning, Gary.
Hey, Jim, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Hope you're doing well.
Doing good. Can't beat this weather, can we?
Can't argue about that at all. I tell you, I'm getting spoiled already.
Planting corn this afternoon, where it's supposed to be around 80 degrees today. And it was 70, I believe 73 yesterday we got up to. So I'll take it. It's nice. Somebody said the other day that March is the only month out of the year that you get all four seasons, and that's about the truth.
That's about right. I haven't looked it up, but I wonder if this high temperature is breaking any kind of records for this time of year.
It is 80 degrees today. It's got to be breaking a record somewhere, I would think.
You'd think so, yeah.
That's warm. Even for spring of the year, that's warm. But we've been quiet up here overnight, and everybody getting out and about, working in their yards. Looks like see a lot of people out getting mulch spread and leaves raked and trees planted, and look like they're picked a good week to get all that done. But the weather will change, I'm sure, in March, so we'll see what it brings us. I remember back in '93 we had the blizzard. The week before that we had 70-degree weather, and next week we got slammed, so you just can't ever tell.
Just takes to be prepared, doesn't it?
It ain't over till it's over.
That's right.
And that's about all we got there, Jim.
All right, Gary, I appreciate it. Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye.
Your car's best friend can be RS Speedy Lube Service Center. That's because RS Speedy Lube Service Center and Car Wash can keep your car or truck running clean with a regular oil change. They check the fluids and vacuum out the car and have you on your way in no time. Go next door for a radiator or transmission flush. Brakes, exhaust, CV joints, and service for big trucks and campers also available. Pull next door to the RS Speedy Automatic Car Wash and make your car happy with a clean, all under and all over car wash. It's all at RS Service Center and Car Wash on Railroad Avenue in Rutherfordton.
Let's go to DeVern Upton now over in Bostic, see what's happening over there. DeVern, how you doing?
I'm okay. How about you?
I'm doing okay. Everything looking pretty smooth for you?
Looking pretty smooth. It was a beautiful day yesterday, and I think we're going to have another beautiful day.
I think so.
It's 48 degrees over here. The fire department responded to one call, a medical call. Whistle Stop Bakery on Main Street here in Bostic. She has all kinds of bakery items to choose from. Washburn's Outreach be giving out food from 9 to 12 today. Hope everyone enjoys this beautiful day.
Well, thanks so much, DeVern. You enjoy your day as well, and we'll check back in with you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, they don't sell used cars. They don't sell lumber. They don't sell shingles for your house, but they have just about everything else. I'm talking about Washburn store. They have a variety of things, including nails and hammers and all kinds of things like that. Plus, you'll find the cooking utensils back there. The solid ones, the good ones that last a long time, and you'll find a lot of things like candies, jellies and jams and honey, bird feeders, wind chimes, on and on we could go. You'll find it at Washburn General Store. Check with them and see what you want, but if you're looking for a used car, they don't sell those, but they've got just about everything else between Bostic and Sunshine on the Bostic Sunshine Highway. All right, now let's head over to the Sherry Mountain Fire District. Is this you, Sue Price?
No, this is Bob Hodge.
Oh, that's Bob Hodge. That's right, Bob. You don't look anything like Sue Price.
Well, no, I'm not quite over that far. The Cherry Mountain is.
We'll make sure everybody's paying attention.
Cherry Mountain's right over the hill, other side of the hill over here. Yeah.
Just want to make sure everybody's paying attention this morning.
Yeah.
You doing all right?
Yeah, we're doing just fine on this Thursday morning, and look, it's going to be another beautiful day up here, and we had a gorgeous day yesterday, and get out, do a little work around, and so, but look like we're going to have another one of them again today. And Jim, with the fire department, it's quiet overnight. Hadn't had any fire calls or anything, and everything's quiet so far this morning, and I guess we'll get out and do a little more spring cleaning today there, cleaning up around the outside and inside the house and everything while it's pretty there. We can always find something to do there.
Oh, yeah, there's something to do outside for sure.
That's right. Well, Jim, that's about it up here, so you take care now, and you have a good day.
I hope you do too, Bob. Thanks for being with us, and I'll see you next time.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye. That's the Hudlow reporter, Bob Hodge, 29 minutes after 7. You know, nothing strikes fear in the hearts of people more than receiving an IRS audit letter in the mail. Audits take much time away from your business and family, requiring you to gather mounds of records, and can become overwhelming unless you have someone you can depend on to take care of that for you. That's why we can recommend IE Accounting and Tax Service. Chris and his team of professionals are in the business to help. Even if you depended on someone else to prepare your taxes, IE Accounting and Tax Service will be glad to assist you or your company. Don't hesitate to call. As a small business owner, you have more important things to do than keep your own books. Why not let IE Accounting and Tax Service take care of that for you, so you can get back to the job of running your business? Consider their payroll solutions for your business, cash flow management, litigation support, and forensic investigation. Why not give them a call and see what they can do for your business? Here's that phone number, 828-395-1777. They're at 211 West Main Street, Spindale. Again, that's 395-1777, and it's spelled Aryee. All right, at 7:30, let's go over now to the Cherry Mountain Fire District. And Sue Price, good morning.
Good morning, Jim.
Well, I threw you for a loop there for a while ago, didn't I? You weren't quite ready for me.
Not quite ready. Looks like we're going to have another beautiful day. We have to feel better. We're enjoying these pretty days. It's almost, I started to say like spring, but it's almost like summer, isn't it? I have Joanne Brooks on my calendar for her birthday, so we wish her a happy birthday. She's been having some health problems for a while, and we hope she's feeling better. And on Fairview's calendar, they've got Josie Overcash, so hope Josie will have a good day. And First Broad has Sheena Brackett. So we hope all these will have a good birthday today. And we hope anybody that's having a birthday or anniversary will have a real good day on their special day and enjoy it. And I didn't have any calls from the fire department, so they've been quiet. I have no announcements to make. It's just another quiet day over this way, and we're enjoying it. And I hope everybody will have a good day, and hope you'll have one, Jim.
Thanks, Sue. You enjoy your day as well, and we'll see you next time.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Cherry Mountain Fire District over there. Well, let me remind you again, those of you who may be just waking up, just tuning in, I'm going to have a live remote on-the-ground report from Ukraine this morning at 8:30. We'll have a phone call in about 8:30. We'll talk about what's happening from the ground. And Joel Colin will be talking to us about that, so be sure to tune in. Find out firsthand without the filtering of the news. He'll firsthand right there with the folks who he lives with, works with, and he'll talk to us about that this morning at 8:30 here on the radio. So be sure to, if you tune in right where you are right now, you'll pick it up, or if you're going to be away from the radio at your desk with a computer, you can tune it in at www.wcab59.com and tune in on the web as we stream that signal. And we hope you'll do that. Bruce Caldwell just came by from Spencer Baptist Church. Tell us about a country ham and chicken pie supper that's going to be held March the 5th. That's Saturday, 5 p.m. until. It's a curbside and takeout so will be available as well. So that's always, they always have a great chicken pie and country ham supper over there. That is Saturday night, March 5th, 5 until. And a little later on, we'll be giving away a couple of tickets to that. So let's see what's going on. All right, right now we're trying our best to reach the Drop-In Family Mart over in Boston. They've been real busy lately, and they are still needing help, as many other places are. So if you can go for a job, get up off the couch, and go get for a job, they've got some available at most all the drop-ins as well. But if you're looking for fresh meat, you won't find it any better than what you'll find there at the Drop-In Family Mart there in Boston. They fresh cut the meat for you right there, and you can have a choice of the fresh roast and the pork chops and the hamburger, and it's all looks good. You can see it firsthand right there. And they have a great grocery lineup. Fresh produce comes in every week, and they will treat you right. You don't get personal service like that any other grocery store I know about. So why don't you try it? Give it a try at Drop-In Family Mart, Boston, right across from the post office. Now, they're busy this morning, can't take our call, but we are going on up to Shingle Hollow and get a report from Tina White. Tina, good morning.
Good morning, Jim.
Welcome back.
Well, thank you. I apologize about yesterday morning. Sometimes things happen and I just can't get to the phone.
Sometimes things happen. You're right about that.
Well, up here in Shingle Hollow this morning, it is 48 degrees, and it is a beautiful morning already. And wasn't it a beautiful day yesterday?
All day long. Yeah, I enjoyed every minute of it.
Just soak it up. Well, the fire department, they were all quiet the past 24 hours. We're thankful, of course, for that. Nobody on our birthday calendars for March 3rd. The churches here in Shingle Hollow, but on my personal calendar, I have my first cousin, Dustin McCurry, and another cousin, Miss Joanne Brooks. I hope both of these are listening and have a great day. And I have Sheena Brackett and Fred Mann on my personal calendar, too. So if you know any of these, call them, tell them happy birthday. And no anniversaries today that are listed either. And for announcements, Pilgrim Way Baptist Church is having their spring revival March 7th through the 11th, 7 p.m. nightly. Everyone's invited. They're prayed up and ready for this revival. It's going to be a good one. So come on out and enjoy that. And that's all I have this morning, Jim.
All righty. Well, go out and enjoy the sun today.
I plan on it. You too, and be safe, and God bless you.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thinking about the departure of a loved one through death is a subject we don't like to talk about. However, pre-planning or prepaying for a funeral is a consideration and responsible thing to do. With so many options available today, it's important to speak with someone you can trust and someone who can help you find a balance between the emotional, spiritual, and financial needs of your loved ones. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory is recognized as one of the best family-run funeral homes. It's a family tradition, and they know how to care for your family. Any questions you might have, they will be happy to answer. Call Crow's Mortuary and Cremation Services at 286-2304.
All right, let's head up toward Union Mills. I think we'll find Brenda Kelly there resting well in her nice, humble abode. And let's see what she got on her mind this morning. Good morning, Brenda Kelly.
Good morning, Jim Bishop. How are you on this tremendous Thursday morning?
I'm feeling great, like the sun's ready to shine right on me.
There you go. It's shining in my kitchen window right now, and it looks good.
Isn't that a great feeling?
Yeah, and it feels good, too.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't even build a fire today, so it's pretty warm already.
I just about need to run the fan today.
That's right. I stayed out in the yard yesterday, and I raked some leaves, and I took the dogs for a walk 2 different times, and I hung clothes out on the clothesline. I just done all kinds of things.
Do your dogs stay pretty close to you, or do you have to put them on a chain?
No, I don't have to put them on a chain. They stay right with me.
That's good.
Yeah. All I got to do is say, get up here, Easy. Easy's the youngest. She's 2 years old, and she likes to run ahead a little bit. But I say, Easy, you better get up here, and here she'll come. She's a big old pit bull and boxer mix, but she's pretty. Oh, she's so pretty.
Yeah, they're nice dogs.
Yeah. But we hope everybody's having a good day. I don't have any birthdays or any anniversaries on the calendar today. But I was watching the news yesterday, and you remember that murder that happened on Arlington Street 5 years ago was a man and a woman?
Yes.
They arrested somebody for that.
Yes, I know. I've got that story here. I'm gonna present in a few minutes.
Good. Well, I didn't mean to step on your toes there.
No, that's fine. That'll give us a good teaser for it. 5 years ago, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I said that just goes to show you that the authorities are always busy digging and looking and finding what they can to make things right.
And the arm of the law is pretty long sometimes.
That's exactly right. Well, let's see. In ways of announcements, Friday, March the 4th, Music at the Mills. Homegrown will open for Wiregrass Mill at 6 p.m. Music starts at 7 p.m., and there's no charge for the music, but they do have a tip jar available for it. And other than that, that's all I got going on.
All right, you going to be out in the sun again today?
I'm going to get out in that yard and take my dogs for a walk again.
All right.
They like that. One of them's old, and he's like me. He's a little bit on the heavy side. Easy, she just goes eloping. She's young, and she stays ahead of us. But little Blue, he'll make it, and then he'll turn around and come back.
Yeah. It's good to have those companions with you, though.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Now,
keep the snakes off of me.
You still have Big Dog?
Yeah, I still got Big Dog. He's out in a lot. I can't let him out a whole lot because he don't come back like these do, and I'm afraid he'll get Easy off, and she won't come back. But yeah, I still got Big Dog. He's my guard dog outside. He's got a big lot out there. It ain't like he's in a little bitty cage. He's got a pretty good sized lot.
Good.
Yeah, and he's old, and he likes to get up on top of his doghouse and lay in the sun.
Well, tell Big Dog I said hello.
I will, and you have a good day, and go check on Luther.
I'll see you, Brenda.
Okay, catch you later.
That's the calendar report from upstate Union Mills, and we will go east of here to Ellenboro and get that report in just a moment.
It can be a tough call when it comes time to provide a daycare service for an aging parent or loved one. You can always depend on Rutherford Life Services for a safe facility that offers medical monitoring, nutritional meals, fun activities, and is a loving environment. Rutherford Life is licensed by the State of North Carolina Division of Aging. They will be glad to answer any questions you may have. Call them at 288-1697. Rutherford Life Services offers a trained staff of professionals who you can entrust your loved one to. Rutherford Life Services is located at 230 Fairground Road in Spindale.
All right, now we're east of here, over in Ellenboro. That's where Luther Gilligan is, and he's on the phone with me right now to tell us everything he knows. Good morning, Luther.
Well, I've already finished. Don't know much.
Make it up as you go, then.
Hey, that's what I do. Make it up. But it's quiet down this morning. Not a whole lot going on. See, fire department, they had 3 medical calls yesterday and last night. Other than that, they're quiet this morning. Peaceful down here. Everybody just trying to get on back to work. Get another day in. But I want to remind you, today is the day they made the Star Spangled Banner the National Anthem.
Oh, okay.
1931.
We've been singing a long time, haven't we?
Yep. Well, they've been singing before that. It's just when they made it the National Anthem. But nothing else going on down here. You have a great day up there. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
I appreciate it, Luther. Thank you, and you have a good day.
Take care now.
Bye. That's the Gilligan Report out of Ellenboro. Can you imagine getting good quality health care and not have to worry about all the paperwork of the insurance companies and co-pays and all those kind of things? Well, let me introduce you to Brock Family Care, a direct primary care practice that takes care of the patient and not the insurance company. Providing flat rate pricing and not accepting any forms of health insurance allows for more personalized and affordable health care. Ann Brock, certified medical examiner, has over 42 years of healthcare experience and 22 years as a nurse practitioner. She and her staff are dedicated to providing health care that is patient-centered and not insurance company dictated. They give the patient the time and the attention they need. What are your medical needs? Bring them over to the Brock Family Care and see the difference. Ann offers also telehealth opportunities anytime. The professional staff are dedicated and will take time to find out how they can help you. To learn more about this wonderful medical service, go to the website at www.brockfamilycare.com. That's B-R-O-C-K, brockfamilycare.com. And they're located at 289 Shallow Road, Forest City. It's time now for birthdays and anniversaries for this third day of March. If you'll call it into us now, we'll celebrate with you. 287-3356, 287-3356. Birthdays and anniversaries coming up. Nobody gets a better deal than the customers at Sisk Family Ford. They have a proven record of the best deals. Sisk Family Ford, Rutherford County's only locally owned new car dealer, has recently been recognized as the #1 Ford dealer in customer satisfaction in the Southeast. That speaks well of their commitment to serve their customers well. Look for all the new design 2021 F-150 at Rutherford County's only locally owned new car dealership. That's Sisk Family Ford, Oak Street, Forest City. Well, Granny B is noted for their delicious daylight donuts, and they're also noted now for breakfast. That started about 45 minutes ago, maybe a little sooner than that. They got a great breakfast, omelet style, 3 eggs. They got French toast, and they got sausage, and they got blueberry French toast and pancakes. It's a great place to have breakfast, and they have some specialty coffees, too, that you'll enjoy if you just need a cup of coffee and maybe a donut. Make Granny B's one of your stops before you go to work. Maybe you pick up a bag of donuts to take with you. Granny B's, good folks, good place to eat, breakfast and lunch, or to take something home with you. Right Main Street, Spindale, right next to the Shake Shop.
Happy birthday.
Birthday wishes going out to Judy Ross over in Forest City today. Judy Ross, happy birthday. And also birthdays that include Alexander Graham Bell, 1847. Was when he was born. He died in 1922. Doc Watson was born in 1923, and he died in 2012. Other events on this day: 1842, first child labor law regulating working hours went into effect. 1845, Florida became the 27th state. 1875, first recorded hockey game. 1885, American Telephone and Telegraph Incorporated, AT&T. 1899, George Dewey became first in U.S. to hold rank of admiral in the Navy. 1905, U.S. Forest Service is formed. And this is National Hospitalist Day, National Anthem Day, National Cold Cuts Day, National I Want You to Be Happy Day, and National Soup what is that? Soup at Ford Day. Now you're up to date on this date in history here on WCAB. Remember, coming up a little after 8 o'clock, my interview with Congresswoman Virginia Fox. 8:30 live report from Ukraine here on WCAB.
Franklin Jones said that silence gives consent or a horrible feeling that nobody's listening. Silence is a simple word that indeed has many facets. It can say more to us than a 10-page speech or less than a simple one-syllable word. Silence, by definition, is the absence of noise. Silence is intimidating when it is used by others to control our actions and behaviors. We become uneasy when we talk and no one answers us. We hate to be ignored. We're uncomfortable because we sense disapproval. Silence can be used to indicate consent at something we disapprove of. We are quiet when we should speak up. Silence has positive attributes also. It is peaceful, soothing, and comforting. It has a healing quality. Its gentleness promotes serenity as it calms our nerves and spirit. Silence allows us time for introspection, a time to marshal our thoughts and find solutions to the problems that are plaguing us. New ideas come to us more readily in moments of relaxed contemplation. The best observance of silence is to use it as a time of prayer and meditation. The Psalms say, "Be still and know that I am God." We have a tendency to bombard God with prayer petitions continually, yet it is primarily in silent times that we really sense God's presence. This is Bill Hostler with today's key to confident living.
Good morning, everybody.
WCAB.
Directly to any Russian soldiers listening, go home, he said. Tell your commanders that you want to live, not to die. Zelensky's defiance came as Russian troops gained ground in parts of the south and threatened to sever Ukraine's access to the Black Sea.
Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov speaking to a live televised briefing with foreign journalists, including ABC's George Stephanopoulos, asked this morning about the bombing of civilian areas, answering through a translator.
I cannot comment conjectures, and there is a great deal of these now.
Those on the ground insist civilians are being targeted. In Kyiv, ABC's Ian Pannell.
This is what this war means for some of the weakest and most vulnerable. We're one floor underground of the city's main children's hospital. It's full of kids who need care and are having to hide down here for their own safety.
The House committee investigating the January 6th riot is now accusing former President Trump of specific criminal activities.
The allegations surfaced after Trump's former lawyer, John Eastman, sued to block the committee from obtaining thousands of emails. The committee challenged Eastman in court, saying it has evidence that Trump and members of his campaign engaged in a criminal conspiracy to defraud the United States, allegedly violating laws in an effort to overturn the election by trying to prevent Congress from certifying Trump's loss.
ABC's M. Wynn in Washington. Following a years-long push by war veterans, the House poised to pass legislation that would dramatically boost health care services for vets exposed to burn pits in Iraq and Afghanistan. You're listening to ABC News.
This is important news. If you have unfiled tax returns, the IRS is shifting gears and ramping up investigations on non-filers this year. If you fail to file your tax returns for a year or more, or you owe back taxes, now's the time to call Optima Tax Relief before the IRS finds you. Optima is America's #1 most trusted tax resolution firm, specialized in helping individuals, families, and businesses get right with the IRS. They're experts in the Taxpayer Relief Initiative, a powerful new program that can make resolving tax issues easier. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, Optima's award-winning team has helped thousands of people protect their paychecks, bank accounts, homes, and businesses by putting their tax problems to rest, resolving over $1 billion in tax debts for their clients. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The number of people dying by suicide is rising sharply across the country. ABC's Daria Albinger has the latest.
The National Vital Statistics System says suicides in the U.S. rose 30% between the years of 2000 and 2020. It found it was the 12th leading cause of death in 2020 and the single leading cause in people ages 10 to 34. The study also found most deaths by suicide involve a firearm. It says more must be done by medical and mental health professionals, along with educators, in order to bring the numbers down. Daria Albinger, ABC News.
New evacuation orders and warnings in effect in and around Sydney, Australia, with torrential rain setting off deadly floods. Dominic Perrottet is the Premier of New South Wales.
We have currently 500,000 people across our state who are subject to either one of those warnings or one of those orders.
Evacuation orders he's talking about. At least 14 people have died in flooding in the eastern part of the country in the last week. Lawmakers in Iowa have now passed a bill that would ban transgender students from taking part in girls' and women's sports in high school or college. The governor says supports the bill. And a federal judge has tossed out a lawsuit over strawberry Pop-Tarts. A woman sued, saying the packaging was misleading and that Pop-Tarts don't contain enough strawberries. The judge says despite the picture on the box, there's no guarantee about any amount of strawberries in there. This is ABC News.
On our first date, we had masks on and kept 6 feet apart. Now, we're a lot closer.
Just like Cliff and Deb, thousands of singles over 50 found their perfect match on Silver Singles last year.
I feel like I'm 20 years old again, and I'm pretty sure she feels the same way.
Rediscover the magic of dating with Silver Singles, the exclusive community for singles over 50. Sign up today and receive daily matches you won't want to miss at silversingles.com/radio. silversingles.com/radio.
I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Tax refunds are on the way, and if you're in the market for a new vehicle, stop by A1 Auto Sales and Service on South Main in Rutherfordton. All vehicles have clean titles. They search history reports, do title brand searches. They offer a 120-point inspection check. Plus, all vehicles are researched before they're even put on the sales lot. A1 offers outside financing and buy here, pay here. They offer discounts to seniors, military, education, and healthcare workers, and all city, county, and federal employees. Mondays only, bring your church bulletin for a special discount from Ryan. A1 Auto Sales and Service Center on South Main Street in Rutherfordton. Stop in or give them a call, 828-829-5877.
Our unseasonably warm weather pattern continues again today, but it comes to a halt briefly tomorrow, and then we'll resume the warming into the weekend. Mostly sunny and breezy. Our highs upper 70s to low 80s. We do have a weak cool front coming in tonight that will not bring any rain. It will bring cooler weather, though. Low to mid 40s for the lows. Tomorrow is mostly sunny, noticeably cooler. Highs in the mid 50s to about 60. We do expect warming for the weekend. I'm Mike Mays in the North Carolina News Network Weather Center.
We don't even have to go to the beach to find fine, beautiful summer-like weather. We got it right here in the foothills of the Carolinas. Right now it's 53 degrees, warming up today to above 75, maybe close to 80 possibly. Then tonight dropping back to 42. We started out this morning at 41, already climbed to 53. So it's moving up the thermometer pretty fast, and it's going to be nice all weekend. And Saturday is going to be another beautiful day. But right now, though, it is a great getting up morning here in the foothills. And you're listening to WCAB Rutherfordton, serving the foothills of the Carolinas from 100.9 FM, 590 AM, WCAB in Rutherfordton. I think we're scheduled to have Congresswoman Virginia Fox checking in with us here in a few moments. But I know for sure at 8:30 this morning we'll have that live interview from Ukraine this morning with Joel Colin. He'll be phoning in and giving us a live update on what's happening there on the ground in that tumultuous place right now. Meanwhile, I've got some stories from here and there coming up. In just a moment, let me give you this one. Police arrested a man Tuesday for a double homicide that happened 5 years ago in Forest City. They arrived on the scene. They found a victim, Akir Huppert, dead inside the home. Police said a second victim, Stephanie Walker, was also found with life-threatening injuries. She was taken to the hospital for her injuries, but died of her injuries a short time later. During the investigation, friends, family, and neighbors were interviewed, which led to the identity of the suspect. Numerous other investigative leads were completed and named Jose Angelo Gonzalez, 51, of Sunrise, Florida, the suspected offender. With the assistance of the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and the Sunrise Police Department, Gonzalez was further investigated as the suspect. Police signed arrest warrants Monday for Gonzalez for 2 counts of murder. On Tuesday, Gonzalez was taken into custody. He is currently in the custody of the Broward County Sheriff's Office in Florida. He's being held without bond and is awaiting extradition to North Carolina. The investigation is still ongoing, and anyone with further information on this case, please notify the Forest City Police Department. And they have arrested one suspect in that arson case that we talked about yesterday. They were investigating structure fire that occurred on Davis Lake Road in Forest City. They've identified Holly Lynn Anderson, a white female with a date birth of 5/24/97. She was with another unknown female just prior to the fire, but they have arrested Holly Anderson. She's been arrested already yesterday, so that case is still under investigation as well. I'll be back with Congresswoman Virginia Fox in just a moment.
It's a new month, and a new crop of scratch-offs are ready to harvest. These tickets are fresh off the vine and plump with prizes. Oh yeah, smells like a winner to me. So come on down. Your freshest chances to win in an instant are ready with new scratch-offs like 200 times the cash from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Kinda gives cash crop a whole new meaning. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 2.90. Problem Gambling Helpline, 877-718-5543.
Being free means your
connection goes where you go, from local favorites to faraway places. And with our Better Than Free event at Carolina West Wireless, you can save over $1,000 on our most popular smartphones with an eligible trade-in and when you bring your own number. Or take home a free Samsung Galaxy A12 smartphone and get an additional $150 in credits when you switch. Celebrate the freedom to take your service anywhere with a Better Than Free deal from Carolina West Wireless. Certain restrictions apply. See representative for details or visit carolinawest.com/terms and conditions.
For a delicious meal every day, call on Gregory's Original. Choose from their top menu of burgers, subs, grinders, pasta dishes, fresh salads, and so much more. All dishes are prepared fresh daily. Hours are Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. until 9 p.m., Saturday, noon until 9 p.m. Now at Gregory's, try the family-style meals. The dining room is now open, but curbside and takeout is still available. Enjoy lunch or dinner today with your favorite meal from Gregory's. Call 287-2171, located in the Park Lane Plaza in Rutherford's Gregory's Original.
As promised, Congresswoman Virginia Fox is on the phone with you right now to give us a report from up in the Washington area, see what's happening. Good morning, Congresswoman Fox. How are you doing today?
I am okay, Jim, but I really am depressed about what's happening in Ukraine. You know, this kind of coverage was not possible during World War II, but there sure are plenty of analogies to World War II in what's happening in Ukraine, and I'm just so fearful that we're going to live to see that happen again, and it would be a disaster.
Well, I don't understand. Is Putin just that kind of evil man, or what's he hoping to accomplish after this if he takes over there? Is he moving further into other countries?
Well, he could. I mean, there's nothing, given what's happened, even though, you know, Article 5 of the NATO treaty says attack on one is an attack on all. Pardon me. Depends on when he does it. This would not have happened under President Trump. It just would not have happened. Putin sees President Biden as the weak person that he is. We did not supply the supplies that Ukraine asked for last year under President Trump. We did give them a lot of the things that they needed. We might not have given them everything that they needed, but it's done in order. And but President Biden didn't help them at all, and Putin saw that.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable that you can see on TV that he's killing women and children, and that those people are having to evacuate. He has no excuse for going into Ukraine. There is none. He is merely an aggressor.
And there's not anything the U.S. can do about that right now, is there?
Well, no, we're sort of between a rock and a hard place unless we want to get into World War III. I don't want to get into World War III, but, Russia is such a weak country itself. We've seen how weak their military is. Jim, a few weeks ago I heard somebody on TV, I'm not sure who it was, it might have been Karl Rove. It's not my original comment, but he said that Russia is a gas station masquerading as a state. Your listeners might not know this, and I'd invite you to do a little research. Mark Stein wrote a book, 10 or 12 years ago called America Alone, and he talked about all these countries in Europe and how they were basically disappearing. Do you know what the average lifespan is in Russia?
No.
57 years.
Oh, wow.
They are dying off. They have a minus birth rate. They have a very high suicide rate, very, very high alcoholism rate. I mean, it's not just a joke that they drink a lot. They do. And they have lots of natural resources they don't use. Russia depends totally on its oil exports. And all we have to do, and I've signed on to a bill to do this, stop buying Russian oil.
Yeah.
If we do that, now, it's going to make the price of oil probably go up a little bit. Somebody sneezes and the price of oil goes up. Everybody knows that. the gas stations up their prices, even though the barrel of oil that's going up is not anywhere near them. But we may have to suffer a little bit on this. I pump my own gas. Believe you me, I'm looking at my tank at how the gas is going down and thinking, am I going to pay $5 a gallon, $4.50 a gallon? What am I going to pay for gas? So I'm concerned about that. Everything in the grocery store is going up. But we cannot allow naked aggression like this. What is the point of being free?
Yeah. Are your advisors at all telling you that they're seeing some bright spots in all of this, or they still think he's going into darker moments?
Oh, darker moments.
Yeah.
Darker moments. Absolutely darker moments. He's crazy. I mean, I don't know why people have wondered about Putin's mental state for a long time. Seems to me you could just watch him. He's got all that long table. He won't get anywhere near anybody. By the way, one of the things we heard the other day is that he won't take the COVID vaccine because he doesn't trust the Russian version. The Chinese don't trust their own version, and they don't want to be found out to have taken an American version of the COVID vaccine.
Wow. Crazy people in the world, isn't there?
There are way too many of them, Jim. And it's not just craziness. It's arrogance. There's never, since Hitler, there hasn't been a more arrogant person than Putin.
Yeah. Let's back up just a little bit if we could. And I know you probably have a thoughts and evaluation on the President's State of the Union address the other night. What's your analysis of that? What do you think?
Well, I heard it, every word of it. It was an uninspired message from an uninspiring person, Jim. It was. The people on TV kept saying he has a wonderful opportunity tonight to reset, to be a statesman, and he was none of that. He spent a few minutes at the beginning talking about Ukraine, commiserating with the people of Ukraine, but offering no plan for how we were going to help Ukraine, or even help ourselves in the light of all of this. But all he did after that was brag about things he claims he's done, which he hasn't done. It was pitiful. He's frail. He's misguided. He has a degenerate agenda. He wants to put us more into debt, defying all the economic laws. We have this inflation, Jim, because of the spending of the federal government. Mm-hmm. That is why we're having inflation. And you look at Biden and you compare him to Zelensky. That's all you need to do. Compare him to Zelensky, who shows leadership and heroism. You just do those two things. The American people can do that, and they see how awful he is.
Well, it seems that research and reading I've done since that, there could have been several Pinocchio awards given out that night during that speech.
Oh, yeah. The fact that he claims that all these corporations pay no taxes. One of my colleagues yesterday got up and said, how can he lie like that in the State of the Union address? Jim, I've been asking those questions since I came to Congress. Democrats will get up on the floor of the House and lie, and they don't get challenged by the media. He was not challenged in any way by the media on the lies that he told.
I know you worked under several administrations, several presidents. Have you ever seen one quite like this one?
No, Obama was weak. There's no question about it. President Obama was a very weak president. But I came in with President Bush, then it was here for President Obama's 8 years, then for President Trump. I can't believe it, I can't believe that I've been here now with 4 presidents, but I have. And there's no comparison between President Trump and President Biden. President Trump is resolute, strong. He's physically strong, and he has resolution, and he loves America. Biden does not love this country. The progressives don't love this country. You know, I want to scream at them, if you don't like this country, if you want to change it so much, why don't you go someplace else?
Yes, yes.
Go someplace else. I mean, some of them, one of their most famous one is an immigrant. And I want to say to her every time I see her, go back to India where you came from. Don't come here and change our country.
Yeah, really. Is there anything the U.S. could do right now to ward off this thing that's happening over there? Are we at a standstill ourselves in America? Should we just stand by and let it happen, or what can we do?
Well, again, our Constitution is clear. We have a commander-in-chief. He is in charge of the military. It would be up to the Congress to declare war. Nobody wants to declare war. Nobody wants to put troops on the ground. Nobody wants to be responsible for starting World War III. The problem with President Biden is that he didn't do things beforehand. You know, Jim, if you get word that a tornado's coming or a hurricane's coming or even a bad storm is coming, you prepare and you try to avoid the bad effects of it. President Biden did none of that. We've known since last July what Putin was planning to do, and he did nothing. We cannot be a country that only reacts.
Yes, right.
We have to be a country that prepares and does things ahead of time. It is frightening how weak and how incompetent these people are. By the way, everybody in the White House is a warm-over from President Obama.
Mm-hmm.
They're the same people who failed with him. You got to remember that that Putin went into Crimea and suffered nothing from President Obama.
My goodness. Well, I will tell you how thankful I am that you're up there fighting, and how proud we are of you and your determination to make things happen and be honest and truthful with us. I wish we had more like you up there, because I appreciate what you're doing.
Well, I appreciate you saying that, and I am honest and truthful, and I see through things, and I'm willing to speak up. Too many people are afraid to speak up, Jim. They care only about their jobs up here, and they're namby-pamby, and they, dance around things. There's no reason to do that. That's not what the American people want. The American people want people who are honest, and who will do the right things for the right reasons.
Well, we got some congressional races coming up this year. We hope some folks will decide that's what they want to do. Congresswoman Virginia Fox, I'm going to have to let you go. I wish I could talk
I
longer
understand.
with you,
Well, I'm on my way to prayer breakfast. So every Thursday morning we have our prayer breakfast. It's bipartisan. I know we'll be praying for Ukraine. We'll be praying for our country. And we do that on a bipartisan basis. And I'm very grateful for that. So and yesterday was Ash Wednesday, so we're preparing for Easter. And we have to remember, no matter the sacrifices we make, we know somebody who made the ultimate sacrifice.
Amen. Thank you so much. You have a safe day up there now.
Thank you, too. Bye-bye. Take care, Jim. Bye.
Congresswoman Virginia Fox. Wish we had longer to talk with her, but we do not. Here now is the report from the Sheriff's Department. Remember, coming up at 8:30, my interview direct from Ukraine. That'll be happening at 8:30 this morning. Stand by.
In the last 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office has responded to 110 calls for service. There have been 22 arrests processed to county jail. Currently incarcerated, we have 161. Among those arrested, Megan Crane Shull, 45-year-old female of Statesville, was charged with attempted breaking and entering and injury to property, received a $500 secure bond. Summer Star Richards, 35-year-old female of Ellenboro, was charged with motor vehicle theft and received a $500 secure bond. Adrian Jarrell Logan, 35-year-old male of Far City, was charged with failure to comply with child support and received a $500 cash bond. Kaylee Cheyenne Connor, 23-year-old female, charged with failure to comply, received $900 cash bond. George Samuel Damiani, 37-year-old male was charged with domestic violence protective order violation. We'll see a district court judge for bond. Isaac Jeremiah Odell, 22-year-old male of Forest City, was charged with 2 counts of failure to appear and received a $15,000 secure bond. Scott Thomas Tugner, 47-year-old male of Hickory, was charged with 6 counts of failure to appear and received a $500 secure bond. Waylon Christopher Flynn, 43-year-old male of Ruston, was charged with domestic violence protective order and received district court judge for bond. Scotty Lee Jimerson, 54-year-old male of Ruston, was charged with 2 counts of failure to appear and received a $2,000 secure bond. Haley Lynn Anderson, 24-year-old female of Shelby, was picked up on the arson, second-degree arson charge, and also had failure to appear and received a $65,000 secure bond. Bobby David Gilbert, 44-year-old male of Ruston, was charged with trespassing and received a written promise to appear. Catherine Ann Spencer, 47-year-old female of Warrensboro, was charged with failure to appear and received a $500 unsecured bond. Lydia Fowler Self, 35-year-old female, was charged with 2 counts of failure to appear and received a $3,000 secure bond. Among incidents, we had an ID theft on Aqua Drive in Forest City. Someone opened up a Wells Fargo account using the victim's information without authorization. We had a B&E in Larceny on Doc Wiseman Road in Mooresboro. The house was being worked on. There was some Edward Oak flooring valued at $47, a toilet valued at $100, a white IKEA vanity valued at $250, and a white interior door valued at $100, as well as a propane heater taken in that incident. We also had a larceny on Highway 226 in Boston. Someone took the tag off of a vehicle that was left at a church. It's North Carolina tag ABL 4819, valued at $50. And we also had a larceny on Whitesides Road. Gentleman left a Smith & Wesson Shield 9mm valued at $450 on his dresser. And then when he came back home later in the day, it was gone. He mentioned there were several people in the residence at the time that he left. Jim, that's what we had to report at this time.
Rallied from a 15-point deficit to beat the Magic 122-114 in OT. The Jazz also beat the Rockets in extra time, thundered down Denver, and the Pelicans won their 3rd straight in a win over Sacramento. This is NCN Sports.
If the power goes out for your business, are you prepared with a backup? Without electricity, security systems go down, refrigerated items spoil, and customers are turned away. In other words, your business loses money. Control your power. Control your business with a Generac automatic standby generator. Alternative Power is North Carolina's Generac generator experts. In fact, all Alternative Power does is provide backup power. Financing options are available. See more at alternativepower.com.
Science, technology, engineering, and math, or STEM, is an important part of instruction in North Carolina, but not all schools can provide it. NC Green Power is a nonprofit promoting STEM education through its Solar Plus Schools grant program. Donations to the program help provide training for teachers and hands-on activities for students. Plus, schools save on energy costs with an educational solar array. Help students by supporting Solar Plus Schools today. Visit ncgreenpower.org. Learn more and donate to benefit STEM education. ncgreenpower.org.
A person familiar with the situation says the Charlotte Hornets have agreed to a 10-day contract with 2-time former All-Star and veteran point guard Isaiah Thomas. The person who spoke to the AP on the condition of anonymity because the deal won't be official until today. Thomas is expected to add some depth behind LaMelo Ball and Terry Rozier. The 33-year-old hasn't seen significant playing time in the NBA since the 2019-2020 season when he played 40 games for the Wizards. He was an All-Star twice with the Celtics. On the gridiron, the Buffalo Bills are lobbying the NFL's competition committee to change the overtime rules for playoff games, a notion that is supported by the Colts head coach Frank Reich. Bills GM Brandon Beane says there are multiple proposals being discussed at this week's meeting and believes some changes could be coming, though he declined to offer specifics. No decision is expected to be made at this week's annual scouting combine in Indianapolis. Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
Our unseasonably warm weather pattern continues again today, but it comes to a halt briefly tomorrow, and then we'll resume the warming into the weekend. Mostly sunny and breezy. Our highs upper 70s to low 80s. We do have a weak cool front coming in tonight that will not bring any rain. It will bring cooler weather, though. Low to mid 40s for the lows. Tomorrow is mostly sunny, noticeably cooler. Highs in the mid 50s to about 60. We do expect warming for the weekend. I'm Mike Mays in the North Carolina News Network Weather Center.
Sunny skies and 55 degrees this morning as we look forward to another beautiful day here in the neighborhood, warming up to almost 80 in the upper 70s for today. So we're looking forward to that. And also looking forward to the interview coming up in just a few minutes from Ukraine with our guest interview, and that'll be happening right after this.
WCAB, the music's on us.
We've been telling you this morning we have a privilege to have Joel Cullen with us on the radio live from Ukraine this morning to give us an update. Joel, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
Of course, it's afternoon over there, I believe, right?
Yes, it is.
What's the difference in our time here and yours?
Well, it's 3:30 in the afternoon.
Okay. We're so honored that you've taken the time this morning to talk with us because a lot of folks back here in North Carolina and Rutherford County are so much interested in you and your family and what's happening. Where are you exactly in all of this now, location, geographically?
Geographically, I'm about 40 minutes outside of Kiev. Basically about west of Kiev.
Okay. What are you seeing, and did you see this taking place prior to? Did you have any warning that Russia was going to try to invade? How did you all learn about it first?
Well, we've been, prior to everything started, we got lots of warnings from the U.S. Embassy and, of course, news. The news here was carrying lots of stuff about the buildup of the troops up north along the border. But we didn't know exactly, what would happen or when. We woke up at, I think my wife remembers exactly the time, 5:26 in the morning. We woke up. The phone was ringing. My wife's dad was calling, saying, what's going on with you? And basically there were explosions that were starting and rattling our windows right about that time.
First of all, before we get any further into this discussion, Joel, tell us your connection. Tell our audience your connection with Rutherford County. What relation you have with folks here?
Well, both my parents live there. They live out towards Gilkey. And I lived there from about 1992 until about the time I came to Ukraine, which was 2005. That was sort of home base, Rutherford County.
And what brought you to Ukraine? What made you decide to go there?
Well, I'd actually I'd gotten a phone call from a long-standing friend of mine, and he asked whether I wanted to help some friends set up a church planning organization here. And so I agreed to come for 1 year originally. I came here for 1 year, and during that time I just decided that this was where I needed to be. And so after that year, went back to the States, sold everything in storage, and moved here on an indefinite basis. And then I met my wife here, and pretty much we've been here pretty much ever since.
What kind of things are happening now around you? Are you hearing explosions even now, or how much fear are you in?
Well, we do hear explosions quite frequently. I'm actually having this conversation from the basement. So we're in a house with a good basement, and when we start hearing quite a few explosions, we just move down here. I would say the last 2 days have been relatively quiet in comparison to the way it was before. When we had woken up on Thursday morning, we had basically no idea exactly what was going to happen. But at that point in time, there were explosions all over the city of Kiev. They were shaking our windows. They were scaring our cats. People were really not sure what to expect. And within a matter of hours, all the major arteries out of the city were all completely clogged. And at this point in time, from what I understand, somewhere over 600,000 people have all fled west into other parts of Europe. But for the first couple of days, where we're at now, we're not that far from an airport. And so the Russians have been bombing all of the airports, any military installations, any of the anti-aircraft installations. They've all been bombed very, very heavily. And so for the first couple days, we would hear planes and cruise missiles flying overhead all night in the morning, and then explosions would be pretty regular.
Are there people still trying to leave there, or has everything been blocked?
Oh no, we're helping coordinate. There's still lots of people that are trying to get out. Pretty much the first couple, anyone that had access to a vehicle or had already had tickets on a train or something, were all getting out as quickly as they could. At this point in time, the people that are still there are people that, for whatever reason, can't get out or have other issues. So we know people that are right now in different parts of Kiev. Either financially they can't afford to get out, or they're elderly and they don't have a lot of options. They don't have family that can get them out, or they may have other things that are keeping them for whatever reason. If their parents are in a state where they can't really move them, for example, if they're injured or in a hospital bed, they're staying there and caring for them. And so there's still a lot of people in Kiev that would like to get out but can't.
Joel, are you able to get news from the reliable sources out there like we're getting it here from our networks? Are you able to know what's going on where you are?
Oh, yeah. I run a missionary training center here. And so I actually have a bunch of my graduates and students who are scattered all over Ukraine, but quite a few of them are in Kiev. And so some of them are still there. And so I get reports every day, who's bombing in what area, what they've seen, kind of what's happening with their family. And then, of course, all of their networks. We actually have one guy, he had gone to Africa as a missionary when all of this started. And his family lives in the northwestern part of the city in an area that has been heavily, heavily destroyed by the Russians. I mean, completely devastated. And his grandmother and his sister are still there. And so he was sending us reports on how they were doing. And, of course, he's been desperate to get back. He actually just was able to get back into Europe, I think, yesterday. And we've been coordinating with him, trying to see how we can help his family or how he can be helpful at this point in time. But he's very concerned about his family. And so, yeah, we get lots of reports from lots of different people about what the situation is. We're very tied in with news. We get news from the U.S. Embassy. And then we have friends that work in other, basically, departments for the government, both in the U.S. and here, that also give us kind of up-to-date information.
What is the day-by-day activities like? Are schools closed, or they continue to operate? Are businesses operating? Are churches still continuing to worship? What's the deal? What's going on?
Everything is shut down. Pretty much at this point in time, there's no school. Shops are all closed for the most part. Food stores are still open as long as they still have food. But for the most part, most of them are completely empty. As soon as they get any sort of delivery in, people kind of descend on them and clear them out within, 20, 30 minutes. Everything that was brought in is gone. And so even if you have money, if you're not there at the right time, you can't get anything you need. So in general, most things are shut. In Kiev specifically, not very much is open. Most of the banks are closed. Any store that is not essential is closed, and most of the people even if the store wanted to open, couldn't because people can't get to work. So all of the subway system is shut down because people are living down there as a bomb shelter. So, all of the subway tunnels and platforms and train cars are all in use as bomb shelters. People can't get in and out of the city because of there being checkpoints. And then on certain parts of the city, the northern half of the city, even getting into the city is impossible because the Russians control the outskirts of the city there.
How concerned are you that the supplies will run out and there'll be no food available for the folks who are staying there?
Well, it's a big concern. We actually, that's one of the things that we're doing right now. One of my brothers-in-law worked some here in Ukraine and some outside of Ukraine, and he had actually flown outside of Ukraine into Lithuania right before the war started. And so he was very desperate to get his wife and child out. But since then, he's been organizing things in Poland. And so he's been organizing entire truckloads of supplies. In fact, we had a whole truck that arrived today, of food, toilet paper, soap, shampoo, diapers for, younger children, the staples, rice, pasta, things like that. And so we have been trying the best we can to coordinate with some of the different organizations that we know to get aid into these areas, because we work with a whole network of pastors, and they are giving us live updates all the time on what's happening among their church members and among the people that they're serving. The pastors themselves are actually serving to distribute a lot of the aid and make sure, especially the elderly, have something to eat. They're coordinating who has basements where people can at least sleep overnight, things like that.
I've been real impressed with the news that we're getting, being real impressed with the citizens of Ukraine and the men over there, how they're all willing to get in the fight and stand there and be bold and courageous. And I'm also impressed with President Zelensky. He seems to really be on top of this.
Oh, yeah. I think he's been he's become in many ways a symbol of the Ukrainian people. And you have to remember that this conflict has a lot of history to it. Ukraine became independent in 1991. And at that point in time, they began to kind of establish who they were as a nation. They were trying to figure things out. But the genetic makeup of Ukrainians goes back to something called the Kievan Rus, which predates Moscow. And so the Ukrainians are ethnically different from the Russians. They are all Slavic, but they're genetically different. And so they have their own history, and they want to be independent. They want their freedom, and they understand that all Putin wants to do is recreate the Soviet Union. And so if Putin wins this, they lose their freedom, they lose their independence, they lose their ability as a country to determine what their choices are for them and their children. This is a big deal, and the Ukrainians have had a really bad experience with the Soviets, not just once but two separate times. The Soviet Union tried to starve the Ukrainians to death, and so that's something that is very close in their memory. I mean, my wife's family, both her dad's parents, her grandparents. They're both dead now, but when we got married, they're still alive. And her grandmother would tell the story of growing up during those times and how difficult it was and how many people really died. And they basically died because the Russians had come in and taken all of the food that was available. and shipped it all to Moscow, and then they left the Ukrainians to starve to death. And they did it because they thought the Ukrainians were troublesome people. Okay? And so this is only 2 generations ago. So this is the experience that Ukrainians have with Soviet Russia. And they're like, we know we don't want that. Yeah. And so they understand what's on the line here, and they're prepared to give anything to fight and make sure that they win this war.
Who are your friends other than the United States of America around the country? Who else is in support of what you're doing?
In terms of Ukraine in general, or us personally?
Yes. Well, the countries that might be on your side.
Well, to be honest, we've been really shocked in a pleasant way, I guess you could say, how much of Europe and how many other countries have stood up in support of us. Almost all of the countries of Europe are very much supporting. They're giving financially to aid the Ukrainian army. They're gathering all sorts of humanitarian aid to send in. And they've really presented a united front against Russia. I mean, they've closed airspace to Ukrainian aircraft. They have created all these sanctions that are affecting Russia right now. And so we weren't sure what would happen early on, but we've been really pleasantly surprised that the people all around the world are seeing what's going on, and they're very much supporting Ukraine in this.
Are the churches able to hold public meetings and worship services now?
Well, the short answer is just a few of them. There's a couple different things that are going on here. One, because of the Russians liking to move a lot, especially during the evening and whatnot, they've set up lots of checkpoints and they've set up curfews. And so the curfews run during the week from 5 p.m. until about 7 or 8 in the morning, where you're not supposed to be out on the streets. If you're out on the streets, you need to have permission. They figure anyone that's moving around during that time doesn't have anything good planned. Then that curfew starts on Fridays and runs all weekend. So there are churches that are set up and they do it online. And so there's a lot of church meetings that are still online, which people got used to because of COVID. But in terms of meeting, what they've done is they've moved to meeting during the week. They have prayer meetings in churches, like in the afternoon. But meetings on Sundays are very difficult because people can't get to the church.
Yeah. Are you expecting to be able to remain where you are now, or will you be moving further away from the actual site where you are?
To be perfectly honest, I ask myself that question every morning and every evening. Every morning we wake up, we take a look at where we're at, we take a look at where the Russian forces are at, and say, are we good for the next 12 hours or so? Are we good? Are we going to leave tomorrow? Are we going to leave today? We have our bags packed. And if things start to get bad, we can be out of the house in 10 minutes. Yeah. And be moving further west. At this point in time, we want to stay here as long as we can because this, in some ways, is where we can be most effective. Yeah. We're really working on getting a lot of humanitarian aid to people. We're trying to be very supportive of some of the pastors and their networks. And we're also trying to get as many people as we can out. So we had a group of people come in 2 days ago. It was a pastor and all of his leadership team. There were about 20 people loaded into 4 cars. And they basically said, we just couldn't sleep at night. There was too much shooting. And we decided we had to get out. So we found places for them to stay. Made sure they had food. And so we're trying to coordinate as much as we can for people that are either trying to get out further west or into Europe, or that for whatever reason had to leave everything behind.
Joel, what can we do here in Rutherford County in North Carolina what can we do to help you and your family or the people that are your friends?
Well, I think the number one thing that you guys can do is pray. Definitely that's the one thing that will change the situation. And so pray for the people of Ukraine. Pray for peace to come to Ukraine quickly. Pray for just all of the people that are really, really hurting for whatever reason, elderly or people that have, lost their home due to a missile falling on it or something. The other thing is, we've set up, and we're not the only ones, we've set up ways for people to help give. We're bringing in a lot of humanitarian aid from Europe, and that costs money. Bringing it here by truck, paying for the diesel to bring it here costs money. And so if people are led to give, our organization is called One Challenge. They have a website, www.onechallenge.org. And on the homepage right there, there's a Ukraine Relief Fund that they can go and they can donate money. We can pull that money out here to buy supplies and bring it in.
Onechallenge.org.
That's correct.
Is that letter one, or is that spelled out one, O-N-E?
It's O-N-E.
Okay, onechallenge.org.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Joel, I appreciate so very much your time. I know you're caught up with a lot of things going on, but you're gracious enough to allow us some time to let folks here know about you and your family. And many folks would want me to tell you to hang in there. We have folks listening from all over the area. I know one of the schools tuned in this morning to listen to this broadcast as well. So we're praying for you.
Thank you.
And hope you'd remain safe. You and your family remain safe. And thanks for keeping us posted. And God bless you in your efforts.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity.
That's Joel Colin. He is stationed there in Ukraine. He's a missionary, trains missionaries over there. He and his family are housed down in their basement right now, every morning anticipating what to do next. And our thoughts and prayers are with them, and I know you'll join me in that effort as well. And if you want to make some donations to help them get supplies in, is onechallenge.org. Onechallenge.org. And thank you so very much for listening. Again, that's Joel Colin from right here in Rutherford. His family here. I think his mother and dad live here, and so we appreciate that opportunity to share that with you. It's 8:52. Coming up at 9:05 this morning, My Great America with Jem and Butch.
Tax refund time is here. With Bark Mobile's More Fun Refund event, you can put more smartphone in your pocket and keep more of your refund cash there too. Make the switch today and get a free Samsung Galaxy A32, or save $100 when you bring your own device. Plus, stream more shows, play more games, enjoy more of all your favorite content with 2 lines of unlimited data for just $35 a month per line. Hurry in to Bark today and get more during our More Fun Refund event. Bark Mobile. Mobile made easy. Certain restrictions apply. See store for details or visit mybarkmobile.com/terms and conditions.
Get Vive's fiber-rich internet for only $25 a month for 105 meg. Plus, free install is available with AutoPay. That's right, internet for only $25 per month. Vive can power all your devices, offers great local service, and includes a 30-day money-back guarantee. Visit ViveBroadband.com to sign up for internet starting at $25 per month. Offer ends 3/31/22. Not available in all areas. Modem, taxes, and fees extra. Visit ViveBroadband.com for additional restrictions.
At Smith Drugs of Forest City, we are continuing to offer the COVID-19 rapid testing and the COVID-19 vaccinations. Please call our pharmacy at 828-245-4591 with any questions or concerns that you may have. You may also visit our website at smithsdrugsfc.com and schedule your COVID rapid 19 test or your vaccination. Again, if you have any questions, please call our pharmacy at 828-245-4591.
It's that time again, time to get the flu vaccines. And Smith's Drugs in Forest City has the flu vaccinations available. Walk-ins Monday through Friday and Saturdays by appointment. And Smith's Drug is asking all their Dream Station and System 1 CPAP customers to call if you need any help with registering your recalled devices. Just call the home medical department for any help or with questions at 828-245-4591. And Smith's Drugs has the Moderna and Pfizer initial shots and the boosters. They also have the flu vaccines at Smith's Drugs of Forest City.
If you missed part of the interview or want to hear it again or share it with other folks, you can pull this up on our website probably within about 30 minutes at www.wcab59.com and click on Listen Live and then scan over to this particular hour. It should be there and you can listen to it again. And we hope you will share that. Let folks know that we have somebody from right here in our own county over there faced with that kind of situation. There are other folks around the country that are also concerned. Colleen Thompson of Fort Thomas, Kentucky, told Fox News Digital on Wednesday about her family's efforts to help orphans in Ukraine get out of the country safely. And one orphan in particular, M, is a future member of their family, a teenage girl whom the family had begun the process of adopting about 3 years ago. They consider her their daughter, and they're frantic with worry for her. Thompson and her husband, David, have 8 children, 6 of whom were adopted from Ukraine. Once this adoption is complete, M will become the Thompsons' 9th child. They say she's brilliant, she's beautiful, she's artistic. And these are children who are alone and who have been through enough trauma and more than most of us can imagine. And this family here in Kentucky trying to get her home. The Thompsons had been scheduled to travel to Donetsk earlier this week for court proceedings to finalize the girl's adoption, but the war was horribly scrambled those plans. Colleen Thompson is now headed to Ukraine today, and the daughter was in a war zone the night Russia invaded. M is right now trapped in western Ukraine, where she's been moved along with other children from her original orphanage in that area. The Thompsons want legislators to lift the bureaucratic hurdles that are preventing them and other adoptive families from bringing the children home with them to the U.S. They received this frantic message from her caretakers at the orphanage saying that there were bombs going off and they were fearful for their lives. And these are children that are alone in this orphanage, and it's beyond scary and beyond helpless, as you can imagine. So there's a lot of prayers being offered by a lot of people, and continue to do that. That's the best thing we can do, in addition to assisting financially with the thing to get into them to have supplies to eat, because I'm sure at some point, if it continues, this despot will have everything closed off for them. So continue. I'm going to move on out of here, make room now for My Great America with Jim and the Butch coming up at 9:05. And we'll be back to talk more about some of the positive things about America and how we relate to things around us right here on WCAB. Thanks for being a part of the morning wake-up call. We'll do the wake-up call again in the morning, 6:05. We'll join you right here in the Blue Room. Now stand by for ABC News and My Great America.